Hello everyone, it's Miriam Ortiz y Pino with More Than Organized. I'm a certified professional organizer and simplicity expert. Thank you so much for your patience today as I'm testing out some new things. Back to the old method for a little while I figure out what went wrong with the last recording. But anyway, we are here today on this lovely Monday to talk about the difference between simple versus easy. I found that many of my clients struggle just a little bit in thinking that getting organized is really easy, and then they actually get into the process and it's not really very easy. It's straightforward and simple, but not easy because there's an emotional component involved. And so I wanted to give you some strategies for figuring out how to navigate that and give you an example of how to work with it. So while we wait for a few more people to join us here on the Facebook Live, I do want to give you the reminder that over at morethanorganized.net, there's lots of free resources you can check out. There is the 1-minute mail solution kit, which is just perfect for dealing with all your papers, and it even works to apply it to your email situation as well. There's also some free simple tips and ways to declutter fast. That's over at morethanorganized.net. And now let's go ahead and get back to the simple versus easy concept. I'm just adjusting the chair. I have to pick up this thing, and I was too close to the table. All right, so one of the things that is simple about being organized is it's a series of steps. And usually we know the steps. We're going to gather like things together, and we're going to put them nearby each other, and we're going to keep them there. We have to define that space of where to keep them. I've talked about that before. But it's not easy if you come up against obstacles and things. So simple is like this. I'm going to use my handy dandy paperclip sorting tray that I've used before to explain this. You know, say all of these were dumped out and you had to sort out the different kinds of paper clips. I have my book page markers, I have my small clips, I have large paper clips, and I have fancy clips, and then I have binder clips. So there's different kinds of clips, and that would be one way to sort them. And then to keep them in each of their little sub-containers. So that's the simple steps, the straightforward part of getting organized. But what happens when you find something like this little red paperclip? And let's say it was just a little red paperclip. It would be no big deal to just go ahead and let it go because it doesn't match the silver ones, or to say you're only going to use it on special occasions so you can put it over here with the page markers. But what if this clip caused some sort of emotional reaction for you? What if it was the paperclip that was attached to a love letter, or that came from grandma, or some other thing? And you want to remember the person that sent you that love letter, and it's going to remind you of that every time you see it. And then it becomes more difficult. Well, should it go with my regular paperclips? It's too special for that. Should it go with the fancy ones so it's only used occasionally? Should it go with memorabilia? What do you do with that? That's where organizing isn't easy. Because you hit those emotional roadblocks and you get stuck. It stops you in your tracks and you can't keep going on the project. So you get interrupted, you say you're going to deal with it in a minute, you come back to it and things get jumbled up because you left it for a while. And then you feel unmotivated to continue, or like you aren't actually capable of doing it. That negative feedback loop sets you up for failure every time. What if instead you plan for these obstacles? What if you knew that the emotional component of getting organized is going to derail you every time unless you have a plan? And what if you set up a plan for dealing with it? What if you thought, anything I can't decide about, I'm going to keep in a I'm not sure what to do with that yet pile? And what if anything that was emotional and memorabilia got moved to a memorabilia area where you could then evaluate it with the rest of your memorabilia? And you kept going on your paper clips so you could finish the paper clips sorting and storing part of the project. Then that part would be done. You'd have a win. You'd be working with the way your brain works, and you would have a positive feedback loop to keep going on the next thing. For me, I just consider it a red paperclip. I may not use it if it was attached to a love letter and I want to keep it for remembering, but it can go right here with my small paper clips, and I can see it every time I reach for a clip and remember that. Or I could use it as a paperclip. Either way, it's just a paperclip. It's now stored in one of the places I would think to look for it. The other thing you can work with your brain on is knowing that you can always change your mind. If tomorrow I decide, nope, it's more special than I thought, I can move it over to the memorabilia pile tomorrow and have the same positive feedback loops closed so that I get better at getting organized and staying organized. Hope that makes sense for everybody. It's a little bit of, it seems too simple, right? Too easy for it to work that way. But it's true. The emotional stuff, the things that want to keep us from changing and making actual changes in our lives is what's going to stop us. So if you just plan that it's going to come up and you can override that and choose to continue moving forward anyway, and know that you can get back to it or change your mind about it or, make the final decision about it later, you're going to be able to keep going. Anyway, thanks for your patience today. Good luck. Go sew your paper clips, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.